Hello, welcome you to the best show on television, The Ultimate Peace Talk, brought to you by Leeback Entertainment and Beauty Company, a show where we discuss about peace, unity and progress, whilst we engage the mindset of our future leaders and youths across the world towards peace and unity. And the name is Isaac Yami and I'm your host for the show. Today we're going to talk about something that is really, really interesting. And February is the month of love. I think I can actually smell love in the air right now, and it's quite incredible. And with me today in the studio, I have Divine.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Divine Obialo. I'm always happy to be here.
Awesome, and our guest host.
My name is Titilayo Meaboloye, also known as Zenel Ziba, and it's a great pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So today is a special edition, the Valentine's edition. So that's the reason why I'm hosting it with Divine at the same place right now. And I am glad and I'm so excited that we're going to have fun with Madam TT and Madam Divine. So it's Valentine's Day and I just want to put it out there. Like, it's my birthday, so yeah. And I feel like I'm qualified to talk about Valentine's because I was born then. And awesome. So
A Valentine baby.
So what we're going to talk about today is Valentine's and relationships, so forth. And to begin, like, what does Valentine mean to you guys? Like, what does it mean to you?
Okay, I'll go first. Valentine is a season of love. It's a season of giving and sharing. And I mean these words because most people just want to get. Nobody wants to give. So it's sharing, giving, showing love, red and so much red, and white, red and white. Yeah.
All right, so for me, I think Valentine, apart from, the official celebration of the day as a day of love, is also a day to remind ourselves of, our loved ones, the people we care about, and being able to share those feelings through gifts and just spending time with each other. I mean, it's not just about the gifts, but also being able to spend time with your loved ones, and more than that, not just those around you, but I think Valentine extends beyond just the person you call your loved one, but even those you don't call your loved ones as well. I mean, it's a day to literally just share.
Awesome. I like the fact that you brought about like how Valentine's is basically for all, and I'm a writer and I actually wrote something about how Valentine's is not only secluded to loved ones. Sometimes you feel lonely. People asking you what are you going to do since you're single and so forth and whatsoever, and I feel like we kind of get like diverted to the reason why love is supposed to be celebrated as a whole, not just for couples. And I want to ask you like this question, like, who do you think has more peace of mind in a relationship between a male and a female?
There is no statistics.
And please do not gang up on me. Trust me.
I can't really say. There's no statistics no criteria for judgment. But I think the girls do have more peace of mind. I'm speaking for kind of females that I hang out with, kind of girls that I roll with. I think we are more calm and relaxed when it comes to relationships and more calculated, so to say. So yeah, I think the females are more prone to have peace of mind in a relationship than the guys.
Okay.
Not planning to gang up on you, but I'm going to go with Divine in the sense that I think usually in relationships, the responsibility falls more on the guys than the girls. And when I'm talking about responsibility, I'm not talking about maybe finances and all the things, but in the sense that girls need care. We love to be loved.
Yeah.
And because of that, it takes a whole lot. Like, it's easier for a girl. I feel it's easier for a girl to love, to show love and express love because we're females. We're being geared towards that direction. But for men, it's more difficult. And so it's like the guy is thinking, okay, how do I show this girl I love her? How does she know at each point in time that I still feel the same way about her? Imagine a girl that wants to be complimented, receive compliments, and all the other things that come around with it. So I would say the girl has more peace of mind than the guy. But at the end of the day, it takes both parties because it's a relationship and it takes two people. So if the lady has more peace of mind, and the guy doesn't have peace of mind, at the end of the day, it's going to rub off on the lady.
Yeah.
And nobody gets to have peace of mind.
Yeah, in addition to what she said, I feel like we're in the era where guys feel like once they have the financial control in a relationship, then that's all the love they need to show, and then the girl is left with the emotional responsibility, so to say. So I feel it falls more on the girl to keep the relationship stronger. You know, the girl has to be more forgiving, more understanding, you know, more willing to tolerate a lot of things, you know, in order to keep a relationship. So therefore, she needs to have peace of mind in order to keep a relationship going.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, at that moment I'm thinking, the man is about to speak. The man in the house. I wouldn't want to argue with you on a perspective that you brought the right points. Like, in your regards, that women feel more or less pressure in regards to in a relationship. I think that is a kind of like an African society kind of thinking. No shade on being Africans. We're all Africans, right? Like how we've been brought as men. Like, you take care of the family, you do this and that, and psychologically it affects us as we grow and so forth. And it's true, to be honest, it's true that as men we were left with so many responsibilities. Like, on like for Valentine's, like I bet like none of yours are gonna buy a gift.
Oh my God, no.
You get
No,
me?
that's not true.
No.
Are you gonna buy a gift for a guy?
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
This is nice because people actually only count leap years. Is it like for guys you can only receive something? You can only receive something during leap years. I guess maybe it dates back to who you're dating as well, and who's your wife and so forth, and how kind of modern are you? I think it has to also put that in consideration, like who's your significant half. But generally, I feel like in an African setup, yeah, men are actually in trouble.
You know, when it comes to gifting, I think people think too big. So that's why they always shy away from giving gifts to people. But I believe that when you're in love, you become incredibly creative. You know, because love stimulates so many things in your body. You know, I once read something on social media where the guy, to give for his girlfriend's birthday, he got her a candle drenched in his perfume, and so whenever she's done using it, it turns into oil that she could rub on her body. Really creative stuff. Wow, so I think people just think too big when it comes to to gift, that they forget that little things matter as well too. You know, you get your guy a nice pair of necktie or bow tie with a lapel pin, his name engraved on a bracelet. These things are not expensive. You know, it makes the guy feel like, okay, you actually do care, and I'm not the sole provider in this relationship. It makes you look more matured, so to say.
But then, sorry to kind of interject. Like, with how the society has turned out, I don't know if you're feminist or not. Like the sudden rise of feminists and everything. Do you think it has kind of changed the mindset of being in a relationship? Like, if I am in a relationship with like a straightforward feminist, like who, like, you know what, I'm paying for my own stuff, I'm doing this and that. So do you think it has kind of lessened the pressure when it comes to relationship? Do you think it has an effect towards relationship now because of feminists and so forth?
Do you want to go? Okay, I think our generation has very poor understanding of what it means to be a feminist. You know, I've met a couple of girls that have told me that they are feminists, but they want the guy to do everything for them because they feel like, I'm a woman, I need to be spoiled and loved. And they forget that these men are also human beings too, and they also need love too. So feminism is not about demanding and demanding and demanding. You also have to give. Yeah. So people... So you have to, first of all, you have to understand what feminism is at its core before you can identify as one. So as much as the guy gives me, I give to him too, because it's a two-way street. I love you, you love me. You know, it's not you love me, you take care of me, you spend on me, and all I do is just...
Right now I'm thinking, is a God like divine really real? Like what? Like,
if I have the money, I would spend on my boyfriend. I would spoil him scatter. That does not mean she come and ask me out too. I'm not single.
Awesome. So, Madam Titi, I think this is where you're going to come in mostly. This is a show about peace, unity, progress. So we cannot like move around without talking about peace, unity, and progress. We mentioned relationships and what it means generally, Valentine's and everything. And I read somewhere that says that human beings cannot thrive alone. Hence, we need company. Hence, we need companions. Family, friends are like a pillar to our lives and support. And maintaining those relationships with our friends, with our family is really, really essential. So, what steps can we take to maintain peace and unity within our relationship? Friends, either friends, spouses, and so forth, what can we do to make sure that there's peace, and when there's peace, unity follows, and obviously progress? Like, what do you think we can do about that?
So peace is a state of mind. It's not something tangible that we see or we can take. Like, can someone give you, this piece that I just got from out there? It's not possible. And because it's a state of mind, it affects everything we literally do. So imagine I go out all day, I come back, and I'm in a relationship where I want to be able to feel, at rest. Exactly, feel at home with whoever I'm in a relationship with. And because of that, when we go out and we come back, our relationship determines whether it's home or not. So whether you have that peace, the truth is the world itself is filled with so many unsettling things. We already have enough baggages and things we're dealing with, workplace relationships, outside relationships. And so when it comes to like your relationships, especially couples and maybe families and loved ones, you realize that you start to feel peace when you really understand what kind of relationship you have. So, for example, it starts with, I believe, having a clear definition of what kind of relationship you're in will determine whether you get peace of mind or not. For example, if you're dating someone and the only reason you guys are dating is for maybe mutual benefits, like sex and all those other things, if the two of you agree that that is what you want, then it's fine. But if one person agrees and the other person doesn't, there's no peace of mind in that relationship. There is absolutely no peace. It's just a matter of time. But further on down the line, every relationship requires growth. Everything in this life requires a progression. And so at every point in time, if your relationship is not growing, then at the end of the day, it's leading towards, a catastrophe somewhere. Yeah. So at every point in time, so maybe you started at one point with some particular, ideas and goals,
and
but you need to start, reevaluation. That is very key.
Personally, I feel like before you can become someone's peace of mind in a relationship, or before peace and unity can exist in a relationship.
Let's not forget that we also have to touch about family.
Yeah.
I feel like, first of all, this peace has to come from inside you. You need to make a conscious decision that, at any point in time, my peace of mind is paramount. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I do personally. I don't allow anybody to interfere with my mind, my peace. And secondly, another thing that is important, relationship, family, any other kind of situation, you need understanding and communication. These two things are very different, are very important, because
Especially
communication, because if you don't talk to somebody, you can't know what they are about or what goes on inside their head. And then by the time you communicate with them, you understand how to deal with them. And so therefore, you can then peace will just come in naturally. Because if you don't communicate with somebody, you would have very serious problems trying to deal with the person. You'll be easily irritated. So before peace has to ensue in a relationship, family, whatever kind of situation you are in, you have to have that inside of you first. It has to come out from you. Self-love, very important.
Yeah. And then I'm picking on something about communication, as you mentioned. I know that what's so essential when it comes to a relationship is communication. Yeah. Keeping in touch. You get me? Sorry,
not just keeping in touch. As someone who studies communication, choice of words are very important as well too. Because you might say something meaning something else, and the person you're saying it to understands it a different way. Mm-hmm. So personally, I feel like simple words, simple, short, precise words are very important. Not just,
especially when issues arise.
Yeah.
Having a peace of mind in a relationship does not mean you will not have issues.
Yeah.
It just means at every point when issues arise, you guys are able to come together, discuss them, and actually find solutions through communication.
Yeah.
And the kind of communication you have also, you're not on the defensive or attacking. The idea is you guys are trying to find a solution. Yeah. And another very important thing that I think about is values. Like what kind of values you place on yourself will also determine the kind of values that the person will give to you and that you will be able to give to the person. Respect, man, is key.
Respect is really important.
It's key.
And then I was like, as you mentioning that choice of words is really, really important, obviously. And valuing each other.
Yeah.
And as a family, I've noticed most families have maybe grudges and so forth and so forth. They do not talk about so many things that happen if something bad happens, I feel like it's so important that a family addresses most of this stuff, so that you understand from a person's perspective, like why this happened and why this happened. You know, because peace is very, very important for a family, because the world is basically full of families. You get me? So if a family is not really, really, really well organized and together, it means that it affects the whole world in general. So in that regards of making sure that we communicate, making sure that we understand each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a possibility whereby we, not perfect families per se, but do you think that we can reach to a point whereby it's kind of close, or it's too close for or I don't know, like
I
you never be
think
sure.
I won't say perfect, but more like healthy. You know, I think the word I'll use is healthy.
Yeah, and dwelling on that also, what are the signs of a healthy relationship generally? Like, what are the signs? Like, how can we see this relationship is healthy? Like, this family is healthy. This boy and girl are healthy. This and that. How can we see that also? Like,
Personally, I believe in aura. When you come around certain people, they give off this aura of happiness, they're fun, they're loving. And when you see a couple that have a very distinct connection, you would be able to tell by just being in their presence that this couple is happy. Although some people are very good at faking it, but you can only fake it to a certain point in time. So
And when you fake it, what are you faking it for?
you
yeah, I
know,
think you're saying that aura is a very good thing, and it's not everybody who would understand like how
yeah,
to
like
show-
you come
how
around
to show aura
somebody
and stuff, and
and all of a sudden you're just so comfortable, you're just so, it's everything is just easy, conversation is flowing, you know. I live for those kinds of things, you know. It makes me getting to know you so easy.
And you know, we're also in a world where social media and all those other
Yeah.
things define relationships.
Yeah.
So it means it's beyond what everybody sees. Like, for example, so many people are dying on the inside, and outside they look
Perfect, yeah.
And so at the end of the day, it boils down to, how do you feel about your relationship? Whether at work, with your family, if you have issues, how willing are you to, you know, to deal with them, you know, to apologize when it needs to happen, to, you know, at every point in time, literally each and every one of us in our relationships, we have to go beyond, the surface, let me put it like that. For someone you're in a relationship with and you have peace of mind with, I think there's a level of truth that actually has to be,
honesty,
you know,
honesty,
like
honesty
honest,
is
serious.
really
Okay,
like,
not
honesty is
to
really important.
digress a bit, but I want to ask Isaac, what are you doing for Valentine?
What I'm doing for Valentine generally is, it's my birthday, so so Valentine doesn't really exist to me.
So it's like a birthday, you know.
Yeah, it's my birthday, so I'm thinking about it's my birthday because I am single. So I think fair enough. I can only
Ladies, you've heard.
So,
He's
yeah.
single.
But
are
I'm
you
not desperate.
Are you searching?
Not desperate.
Are you
Not
searching?
Desperate at all.
No, but are you searching?
It should be.
Nah.
You're not
Really?
searching.
No.
Why?
So like,
If I'm
you're
found-
supposed to be searching for.
If I'm found, I don't know. If I'm found, but then if anybody's in my liking, I don't know.
I think you're the one who said love is in
If-
the air.
if
So I
anybody's
think you
in
should
his
catch
liking.
the
No, I
bug.
can't smell it, but then
But then,
But Isaac,
come on.
but you have a boyfriend, yeah?
Yeah,
What was that?
it's not defined yet.
So defined. Okay, I'll not
That's
push
a-
it on in
that's a
front of
look.
camera. I'll not push it in front of camera. But as we're drawing to a close, what instant, like let's say someone wasn't really listening, what can they really pick like on the spot, like right now, you think could advise them to keep the relationships with family, friends intact? Like quick one, like something that someone can just pick right now. What can you say to a person right now just to
if you're in any relationship and you feel like you don't have peace of mind, or it's not healthy, you might need to reevaluate, reach out to the person, you know, have a clear-cut definition of what you want for that relationship, and from there you can start working towards it. From there you start to see if, okay, that is the relationship you really want to pursue, if you're supposed to be in that kind of relationship. For example, I had issues at work because, you know, language barrier and things like that, and I began to see that it was beyond like the barriers that we had. It was because, I mean, to their mother tongue, they feel more comfortable, and they were reaching out, but because I was like so and then eventually I saw beyond the language barrier, and now we eat together. We actually like we become like family literally. So yeah, so it's not just about at work, like your family, your personal relationships. You actually have to find out what exactly is the reason why you're in that relationship, and from there, you know, reevaluate it and start working towards making it healthy if it's not.
I think that's really like reevaluating. And I think my last final words before I throw it back to Divine. She's gonna take us out of of this one.
Okay.
As I mentioned, no human being can survive by themselves. You need to make sure that you learn how to improve and maintain your relationships, either with your man, your wife, whatsoever, your family. It's really important because no man is an island.
Okay.
And in the spirit of love, obviously, I want to end it with shouting out to a few loved ones right there. I want to give a shout out to my mom and dad who are in Zimbabwe. My family was, my sisters were across the world. Maybe my future girlfriend, I don't know. My future girlfriend, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm not desperate and sensual.
Okay.
Don't worry. And obviously people who I stay with, Kenya boys, people who I stay with, they're basically my brothers and stuff. And obviously, and it being my birthday, yeah. So that's basically my shout out. And then Divine, back to you. And then
Okay, my final word for this conversation is social media is not therapy. If you have an issue with somebody, discuss with them one-on-one. Don't go posting about it. Don't go seeking validation for people that don't know the details of your relationship whatsoever. So in this regard, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something from this show. My name is still Divine Obialo.
My name is Titilayomi.
Isaac Yami.
So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and watch other shows. Thank you very much. Bye.